Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Ron with the Paint Protection Film Academy. And this week at our shop, we've had the privilege of having an Eastman slash SunTek slash Lumar trainer here training a couple of new hirees that we have. I know you're probably wondering why I don't train those people, and I have been working with them, kind of getting them a little wet or started in the paint protection film, but it's a lot easier when somebody can devote a full, 3 days, 4 days to them. It's really hard in our shop. I'm constantly pulled away during normal business hours. A lot of times I make these videos before we open or after we open or after we close. So that being said, they've been working all week, getting up to speed on paint protection film and installing. And yesterday, the trainer pulled out this little contraption here. And it's not all here, there's a little bit of paint protection film on it. This is a kind of a cut board that's used, that they've come up with for training. And you pretty much plug in, there's a plug in here somewhere. There it is. So you plug in this cord here. It runs on, I think, four AA batteries, and it went off just now. And I'll pull out a knife. See, I've got one of my red dots here. And you can clamp it onto the knife. I've been playing with it, taking this snapper thing off the back, and then this just kind of clamps on here. A little alligator clip. And now when you have this deal here and you touch your knife to it, it goes off. Pretty cool, huh? So the idea behind this is to teach people how to cut film. So right here is a piece of film that's on the board, and if I push hard enough, the tip of my blade goes through it, but if I just lay it on here, it's not gonna go off. And when you cut, if you cut too hard and hit the metal, it goes off. So what this does is this kind of teaches you your knife pressure for blade depth and everything. And it also works with vinyl. I have a little piece of vinyl on here. I started off with a big piece yesterday evening, kind of playing with it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on the table, and we'll make a few cuts, and you can see how well this works. They actually have, this is a portable unit, and they have a bigger one, I'm told, at the training center in Houston. So I'm not sure how big that is. And I'm not sure how well this would work in a real world training situation. I'd have to have this in my shop for a while. SunTek or Eastman said that they may possibly sell these if the demand is high enough. I don't know. Do you think the demand would be high enough? Let me know in the comments below. Is this something that you would buy? What would be a good price point for something like this? I mean, it's not a display, so you're not really selling film. So I don't know if this would be worth more than $100 to me. And this thing is, I mean, it's stout. It probably cost a lot more than $100. So if you're just a one-man shop, it may not be worth it to you. If you're a shop with multiple employees and turnover of employees, or you just want to stay honed on your skills, this might be worth it if it's, $200, $300, $400. So let's throw this up on the table here, and we'll put some film on it and see how it works. Well, I've got this cut board laid out here, this practice board here laid out, and this side here has paint protection film on it, and then this side here I put some vinyl on it. One of the interesting things I've discovered, at least for me, it's easier to control my cut on vinyl. So when I cut a piece of vinyl, so now you know that it's working. So when I'm cutting vinyl, it's a lot easier for me to control my cut with vinyl than it is with PPF. Let's see if I can get this pulled off of here. So you can, let's see if I can do a trace of my finger here. Whoa. And this is going through, and it's probably, if you were on paint, you probably wouldn't be cutting paint where it touched. I mean, this is very, very light. If I could get this to peel off of here. There we go. And so you can see it's cut through. I think I didn't get through. I did get through all the way on this end here. So I've cut out a little trace around my big index finger there. Now when we get to the PPF, it's a little harder to make your cuts and get through. You have to use, obviously you have to use a lot more force. So I'm going to try to make a straight cut here and hopefully, whoa, get through. So, and we managed to make it all the way through with very minimal beeps. I will say this, that this is proof positive that you really have to snap your blades and have fresh blades when you're making cuts. So the only thing awkward is having this cable on here. It would probably, I don't even know if a battery would be better because it would add more weight to the knife, but let's just say that this is your edge right here and you would be trimming an edge, so we can come right here and so now I'm off the film, I'm on the film, and see if I can trim this edge without making it go off. And now you can see my film is moving. Whoop. Woo. And I did pretty good on that. A few beeps, but we've seemed to have made a pretty decent cut there. So again, if you can come through and stab this thing, but if I lay the knife on there, it's not going off. So let's try a cut in this valley here. And right at the very end, look at that nice clean cut there. This here is going to be a great training tool for somebody that wants to advance their skills, wants to be able to provide more custom installs for their customers versus just taking a pattern and putting it on the car. Not all of these patterns fit 100% perfect. It may fit 100% perfect every time for the person that designed it, but you don't know exactly what was going through the head of the pattern designer when they made that. Or there might have been 5 guys involved in designing that pattern. You know, they may have had the car for a day, so you have 5 different technicians who have 5 different techniques for installing film, and they, you know, all may have their little subtle nuances that they put into their pattern. So that being said, you may have areas that you're going to need to trim on a vehicle. Trim back, you may have overstretched something and got it to lay down, but you have a little excess film that's going to need to be trimmed, and that's where this little cut board comes in handy. Honing your skills before you start all your major cuts on a car, you could probably break this out and throw some film on it and practice your cuttings and your blade depth and everything. And then even if you jump between films, so this is SunTek film that we put on here for paint protection. Maybe you're jumping from SunTek film to an XPEL film, or from an XPEL film to a STEK film. Based on my experience, STEK film is much more difficult to cut. If you go from regular clear PPF to STEK's gloss black, their designer PPFs, those to me are always really difficult to cut. And then you have vinyls, and there's different vinyls. We have some printed vinyls here that are reflective, that are very difficult to cut. And after every single cut, even if you've cut just an inch, it dulls your blade. You have to snap a new blade. So A lot of things you can test out on this board, cutting different materials, different films from vinyl to PPF. This, you know, window tint's not going to work on this because window tint you have to cut all the way through. So I think this is going to be an awesome tool for new guys as well as seasoned professionals, guys that have been in the business for many years like myself, and for the guy that just started learning how to install film last week. It's going to work for everybody. It's going to be something that everybody can utilize. So it's just a matter of if there's going to be a demand for it and price point. Whether it'll come to market, whether it'll be a sellable tool to help you advance in your film installations. All right, guys, well, that's it for now. I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned. We're going to be going to SEMA next month, so I'm going to make some videos there, take some videos of new products. There's a lot of products being launched, and I think I'm going to make a little SEMA video beforehand coming up. So we'll see you on the next one.